One of my biggest beliefs, and this is one that I think almost everyone in this cheat code community shares, is the idea that success is not about circumstance, it's about skills. Right? There's a reason that 2/3 of people who win the lottery end up bankrupt and broke. It's not because they weren't circumstantially lucky, they didn't have the skills to attain financial success, so they certainly aren't going to have the skills to retain that financial success. And I think that's really important to understand. It's that it's never really about luck and opportunity. Yes, you can get luckier and yes, you can find more opportunities, but in reality, you don't rise to the level of your luck, you fall to the level of your skills. And so understanding how important skills are to success is a pivotal part of actually attaining success. I always say there's a greatness equation. Right? In order to be great at anything, better than other people at a discipline, you need two things. That's it, two things. Number one, you need to know more of the things you're supposed to do to be good. And number two, you need to do more of those things that you know you're supposed to do. So it's about education and it's about discipline. And that's what we're going to talk about today, the idea of outlearning. What do I mean by outlearning? Well, most people, especially if you're not an inside the box person, like a lot of us here at Cheat Code, we weren't designed to be high school, the valedictorians, I didn't like school. I've got the most vicious ADD ever. If it wasn't for sports, I probably wouldn't have finished school. And I know a lot of people can relate to that. And understanding, it's like once we get out, it's like, oh, we're free. We don't have to learn anymore. And that is wrong. But the problem with that is that we then develop a toxic relationship with learning and we resist it. And so how do we, if we understand deeply that in order to be good, we do have to develop those right learning habits and we have to be good at, not only finding good information, but also retaining it and using it and executing well on that. Well, that's a skill set that we've got to develop. The upside is that if you're in this community, it means you're not a bitch. And what I mean by bitch, not in a feminine derogatory sense, I mean like a little wimpy loser who has no backbone and can't succeed. You are not one of those people, which means you probably have a little bit of competition in you. You probably enjoy competition. You probably, thrive in competition. That is what this business and this organization and this community is all about. Being someone who loves to compete, but in a fun way with integrity. Well, if you are a competitive person, I've got good news for you. You can make learning a competition. You can hack into your desire to compete and use that to get better. And that's where outlearning comes in. And it's a very simple concept. I wake up every single day and I say to myself, nobody in my industry is going to outlearn me today. I just make learning a competition and I make it part of who I am. I enforce that identity with myself that I am someone who outlearns other people. Because if you're someone who outlearns, even if you're not the best right now and someone's better than you, if their rate of learning is this fast, but yours is this fast, it doesn't take long for you to overtake people. And I've seen it a million times before. The people who overtake people are the ones who learn faster. Your rate of learning is the definition of your intelligence. Intelligence isn't some magic thing that you're given or you're not. And don't get me wrong, I've met some dumb people in my time, but it's about how quickly you can learn and adapt. And that is totally in your control. And so understanding the idea that if you want to be great at anything, yes, you're going to have to develop your discipline, and that's a conversation for another time. But you've also got to develop a love of learning, and you've got to develop that identity of, I am going to outlearn my competition if you're going to win. And this is at any level. The people that get complacent are the first people to drop off when things get hard. You can never be complacent. The upside is that learning is oftentimes self-sustaining once you catch the habit, because you get what's called positive feedback loops. I learned something, it works, that feels amazing. I'm excited to learn the next thing, and then it feels even more amazing when that works, and then you get on this upward spiral of leveling up. Really, really important, but that will not happen unless you force it at the start. You have to force the habit of education. Best time I find to do it is in the morning when you're not distracted by anything, when no one's awake, no one's bothering you, but it's up to you when you do it, but you just got to make sure you never miss. Learn every single day and hack into your competitive drive and make learning a competition. Outlearn everybody, and sooner or later you'll outperform them too.